Yo guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the Ladsfootyshow. I'm your host Keeks. I'm here with my co-host.
Your boy Hera.
And the Leagues Cup is back for its 5th official season with a brand new format. But before we get into that, make sure you guys like, comment down below. Make sure you guys subscribe, hit that bell, and don't forget to follow all our socials down below.
Join that Discord, lads. That is the best footy place on earth. If you guys know, then you guys know. Go have a chat with ourselves, with the lads, with everyone involved. Links in the description, correct?
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, now, new Leagues Cup formats, 5th edition. First 2 editions were taken by the Liga MX. The recent 2 editions were taken by the MLS. So this is actually the tiebreaker. And in no better time than to them show us this new format. We're going to explain the formats a little bit to you guys before we get into our deep dive and breakdown and predictions. Think of it as the NBA playoffs, or not playoff, before the NBA. Eastern Conference, Western Conference, MLS, Liga MX, top teams from each conference go into the playoffs. In this case, it is the top 4 of each league. Now, 4 teams of 18 spots. That is an insane number. Only 4
it's kind of crazy.
can qualify into the playoff round. Now, in this video, we will be letting you guys know who we have on each side and who we have out. And there's going to be some upset. There's going to be some people disappointed in our predictions or agreeing, but let us know if you guys agree, disagree in the comments below. Let's get into it, Keeks. Let's give them what they want. Who do we have going into the next phase, which would be the playoff phase, Keeks?
For the Liga MX, my top 4 are in this exact order.
Okay.
Toluca, Cruz Azul, America, and Chivas.
Chivas. I'm surprised you have Chivas in there.
I'm not disappointed with what I've seen at the start of the season. I think there's
Scared, huh?
There's room for improvement. I can see one lineup. I can see a good lineup coming out and good results happening afterwards.
That's true. Now, you gave some praise about Chivas, and it's my turn to give some praise about America. Not that there's been anything good as of yet for America.
Yeah.
It is what they've only won 1 game in 4.
Mm-hmm.
It's shocking. Yeah. That is shocking. But we spoke about that, boys. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, go check out our last video that we dropped. We spoke about the America downfall. But ironically, I have America finishing first place in the Liga MX side. Why? Because I just feel like the switch will be turned on, flicked on. I think it is now or never. And also the pressure that Jardine holds heading into this Leagues Cup. I was about to say Liga MX, but Leagues Cup.
To both. Honestly.
To both, honestly. So I think the route to, I think the 3 games actually aren't tough at all. I think they can beat them. And it's also, man, this is tough. This Leagues Cup is going to be tough because you only compete against MLS teams, and the MLS teams only compete against the Liga MX teams. And you only have 3 games.
Yeah, I was going to mention that.
You only have 3 games. Back then you were playing, back then it was a group, and there was groups, and there was only 3 teams and 2 of the teams. But now it's win or go home. Because technically, if any Liga MX teams or MLS team loses their first game, they're practically eliminated from the first 4. And their whole tournament went to shit.
There's no room for error.
Yeah. So with that being said, America cannot choke or sell one more time. I have America finishing first. I have Toluca finishing second. I have my Chivas finishing third. And Rayados finishing 4th. Chivas and Rayados have the same schedule, so those can be interchangeable, but I have those 4 heading into the playoff phase.
Not bad.
Which, I mean, we left out Tigres. You have Cruz Azul. I left out Cruz Azul. We left out Pachuca. Crazy. Pachuca's first place in Liga MX right now, having a perfect record. But we'll get into why we decided what we did. MLS, Keeks.
So for my top 4 on the
MLS
side,
fans,
I have, if there is any shit.
If there is any, if you guys are MLS fans, let us know in the comment below.
I have Columbus Crew finishing first, San Diego in second, Cincinnati in third, and then I have Inter Miami finishing 4th.
Columbus you have?
Yeah, I have Columbus finishing.
You have San Diego in there?
Table. Yes.
Miami, but you don't have Seattle Sounders.
No, I don't have Sounders.
Okay, I have Sounders, but let me give you my 4. First place, I have Inter Miami. Second place, I have the Columbus Crew. Third, I have San Diego FC. And then 4th, I have Seattle Sounders. I think what Seattle showed us in the Club World Cup is more than enough to compete against their own. I mean, they did okay against Athletic, kind of got battered, Botafogo, and the other team that I forgot who they played. But they did a good job. I like the team. They have really good players. Miami, what they did in the Club World Cup was insane. And then Miami has Messi. Wait, come on.
Yeah. Eso sí.
Eso sí. The GOAT. All right, this brings us to our knockout rounds.
He's
This
over
is
there.
where it really starts to heat up. Give me your semifinalists on the left side, and I'll give you mine on the left side.
Going into the knockouts, we start with Columbus Crew versus Chivas and San Diego versus America.
So who do you have heading into the semifinals on that side?
I have Columbus Crew and America.
Columbus Crew beating Chivas and America beating San Diego.
Yeah. I have only one MLS team getting the best out of the Liga MX, and it's going to be Columbus.
Columbus shoots. On my left side, I have Rayados versus Monterrey, kind of what we saw last edition. Was it? No, it was a Conca. It was Concacaf because they played in Monterrey.
Yeah, it was Conca.
Yeah. Also, all these games are being hosted in the United States. But I have Monterrey beating Miami. I think Monterrey, the quality of play that they have, new manager. We saw what they did in the Club World Cup. I mean, River, Inter, Dortmund all competed at a very high level. I think they'll beat Miami. The other one I have Guadalajara versus Columbus. You have the exact same fixture, but you have Columbus. I have Chivas finishing over them, which my semifinal will now be. Semifinal would be Monterrey, Guadalajara on that side. Who's on the other side for you?
On my other side, I actually have Toluca versus Inter Miami and Cruz Azul versus Cincinnati.
Toluca, Inter Miami. I like that game. That would be a good
I
matchup.
think both of those matchups are pretty good. But I ultimately have both Mexican teams knocking out the MLS with Toluca and Cruz Azul going through to the next round.
Toluca, Cruz Azul, and it will be your next semifinal. Yeah. So I have America beating Seattle and Toluca beating San Diego, which any game Toluca plays is Toluca deliver, man. That's what it is. They concede goals and they score goals. That's why I like seeing Toluca play, which would gather our semifinalists. Mine would be Chivas, Monterrey, America, Toluca. All 4 Liga MX teams.
Not bad. Yeah, I have the same thing though.
No, you have Columbus.
Oh, no, you're right. You're right.
Columbus.
Yeah, you're right.
You have Columbus over Chivas.
I have Columbus playing America, Toluca, Cruz Azul. I have ultimately America getting the best out of the Columbus Crew, and more than likely Toluca beating Cruz Azul.
So your finalists would be
a third final between America and Toluca.
Oh my God. I have Monterrey beating Chivas, unfortunately, in the semifinals. And I have Toluca beating America once again in the semifinals, which our final would be Toluca, Monterrey, and yours, America Toluca. Who's your champion now?
I can't see another final that Jardina gets to facing Turco and not getting the better of him. I refuse to believe that Turco can go 3 for 3 in consecutive finals against America.
Why not? He's done it. He's done it once. He's done it twice.
And that's where it stops.
No, you're crazy if you think America or Jardine will get the best out of Turco in a win or go home situation. It'll be Turco beating America for the 3rd consecutive time, and it'll be Turco going like this eventually at full time. Full time spanking America. It's built to ass every time we see Toluca America in the decisive matches.
At the moment, yes.
And I think it'll stay. But America would still have a ticket to the Concacaf Champions Cup in this case.
Yeah.
Now, Chivas wouldn't, because I have Chivas losing to Monterrey, which would put in my bracket would be Chivas and America fighting for the 3rd spot and last spot. Yeah,
so they're still fighting for a ticket.
I know, but could you imagine that game? A Chivas versus America, not in the final, but in the 3rd, because if they're in the final, they're both already in.
I promise you that if your situation was to come out and the Clásico was the 3rd place match, there'd be way more. It'd be triple the viewers and
of the final
and fucking tickets sold than the final.
Yeah, it's packed out. Chivas and white. We're not losing that game. If it were to be a Chivas America on the 3rd place match, like he said,
that's all you guys do. Just pack out stadiums
and airports. Don't forget. Good Chivas sack. But I have Chivas finishing their 3rd, beating America.
Yeah,
spot. Yeah. I do. Honestly, that would be insane. That would be insane.
That would be some shit.
That would be some shit. But I have Toluca beating Monterrey, and Toluca just completely dominating the past 2 years of footy.
Your scenario is so funny because this would pretty much put Jardina's job on the line.
Yes, it would.
If we were to not only miss an opportunity for the final, which is a free ticket, but then go lose our other chance back to back against our biggest rivals in the country. Yeah, no, that would look so bad for Jardine, which is why it's never gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean, this is why this brings me to my next topic. This is why I feel like this 5th edition of the Leagues Cup is so much more just competitive. There's actually something to play for that holds more value to other and Liga MX teams and MLS teams, which is having 3 spots in the Concacaf Champions Cup, and eventually the goal for every team is a Club World Cup.
I guess it makes a lot of sense. You know, the fact that all 18 Liga MX teams had the opportunity to go now play the Club World Cup without necessarily having to, you know, or having an opportunity to play for the Club World Cup, I'd rather say.
For the Club World Cup,
but these are also teams that have also never competed in the Concacaf Champions as well.
That's
so,
another
you know,
thing.
if they can somehow have a miracle run in this competition, they can finally have their first chance at a Concacaf Champions, you know, official competition.
The tough part is, like I said, finishing in the top 4 because yes, you're competing against the opposition, the MLS, but you're still battling it out on points, on paper, with your own league, which you already kind of do already back at home. But this is why this is going to be a fun one.
This is going to be I think there's going to be a lot of goal difference tiebreakers throughout the league. At least more specifically for the top 4. Because like you said, some of these teams are playing the same amount of clubs or the same clubs. Not the same amount. They're all playing the same amount. But like you said, Monterrey and Tigres pretty much have the similar schedules. There's a lot of other teams that are playing the same couple of guys. And that could just ultimately lead to, you know, a lot of similar point finishes. Yeah. So it all really just depends on how many goals you concede, how many goals you actually put.
And if you tie,
it
goes to penalty shootout, and it's only 1 point.
And that's a 2-point maximum. Yeah.
2-point max. So it's not even a good situation to even tie.
Not really.
Not really at all. Now, for all you guys wondering as to, oh, no way you guys don't have Cruz Azul. Oh, no way you didn't put Tigres. Oh, no way you didn't put Pachuca. I'm going to tell you why. Let me give you some context. The reason I don't have Cruz Azul is because I honestly believe that their schedule is far more tougher than who I have in my top 4. First game against Seattle. I don't see this being an easy game for Cruz Azul. Honestly, I could honestly see a draw. Their next matchup would be against LA Galaxy. LA Galaxy's fans will show out in LA. That is actually a very good game that I might even go check. I might be even there. And I just exited where the heck I was at, literally.
Sick.
So Cruz Azul play the likes of Seattle Sounders, LA Galaxy, that you never know. I mean, they have certain players. And where'd it go?
Was it not Colorado?
And Colorado. Yeah, Colorado, I could see them beating. That's true.
I can see that as 6 out. For the minimum, it's 6 out of. That's 6 out of 9 points. More than likely going 9 for 9. I don't see Seattle getting the best out of Cruz Azul.
The other team I left out is Tigres. Tigres play Houston the first game. I see them getting 3 points there. The problem is what comes after Houston. Tigres play San Diego FC.
That's a tough one.
Which is already San Diego's in our top 4 for the MLS side. And LAFC, which I don't recall having them in our top 4, do we?
No,
LAFC, I don't have them in our top 4. Ooh, then see, those are 2 games though for Tigres that could be competitive. Tough games. Yeah. Who did you leave out?
I left out both Regio teams.
You left out Monterrey.
Yeah,
that's a shock actually because Monterrey is in Monterrey.
But this is a team that just I don't see them.
It's because look,
they're such a worldwide team. I don't like they don't play the same way they do against like these other teams that are out of continent. When it comes to playing here at home, when it comes to playing the teams with MLS, no se arman, güey.
Monterrey is not bad, güey. Monterrey, I see LAFC last time out, they had a last minute win against them.
But I also mentioned that like a lot of these positions will be finished via goal difference.
Yeah,
I see a lot of teams finishing on the same amount of points. I don't see Monterrey outscoring the other 4 teams that I put on my.
Chivas and Monterrey have the exact same schedule, and you have Chivas over them. But again, it could possibly be Monterrey. That's what I said. Monterrey and Chivas could go interchangeable between me. But we left out Pachuca, and Pachuca is number 1 right now in the Liga MX.
Yeah, they're terrorizing.
They're terrorizing the league. Jimmy is on one. But again, I left them out because their first game against San Diego, Chucky reunion.
He's on a revenge tour. He doesn't give a fuck about the MLS. He's just trying to go win the Liga MX real quick.
There you go. So Pachuca, San Diego C, LAFC, Houston. So it's still tough. There's no easy games for these teams. And in comparison to who I have in my top 4, I kind of see, that team getting better results than the others left out. So please don't cook us. Know the context. Know our reasoning. This is why you come, guys, watch us. But I think let's give our final closure on this Leagues Cup. Keeks, overall thoughts and opinions, and what are you expecting to see?
it's something that I think is good for the Leagues Cup, and I think it's good for the content in general. I think the football they produce when MLS teams get the chance to play Liga MX teams is not necessarily the same, but it brings certain aspects to the actual the actual international rivalry that we have. You know, it's a lot of grit. There's a lot more physical. It's a bit more, it's a bit more fight. They have more of a reason to want to beat these guys. For each side, it's good for it's good for the football. It's good for the fans and for what we're watching.
It's good for the fans, but is it though? Because every Leagues Cup game, it's never like a sold out. It's never like, oh my god, what a great attendance.
I guess in terms for the
and also,
football.
Also, what do you say? Is it good for fans though? Because now every viewer like us have to purchase a subscription Apple TV to see the pass, to see the Leagues Cup in general play.
I guess it's more so better for the actual football that's being produced, because I think the football that gets produced, like I said, when these two countries go against each other, I think it's a lot more higher end and a bit more entertaining.
I saw stats that since the Leagues Cup has been invented, the goal average is 2.83, giving us 2 goals minimum and 3 goals more often than usual.
Oh my god!
So, not giving any gambling advice. just put goals, lads. Just put goals. Don't back any team.
Slam both teams to score.
Don't back any team. But I'm gonna give you my thoughts on the Leagues Cup. It's good now, but this is not a tournament that I would like to be competing in. And I'm talking about for the whole of Liga MX and MLS. I think we should be looking to be playing against CONMEBOL teams. Libertadores, Copa Sudamericana, even the Sudamericana, which is like the lower tier level of the CONMEBOL tournament. But that is ultimately where I want to be playing.
Well, I do agree. I can't help but argue the fact that I think South American football just doesn't produce that high of a level as people, put it as. Granted, I think the Brazilian league is probably its peak, but other than that, I don't see, and I don't think any of those other leagues even compete with the Liga MX, with the MLS, let alone the Liga MX.
Yeah, I know. But the teams that are the top teams in Chile, the top teams in Uruguay, the top teams in Colombia, the top teams in Argentina, Boca River, and the majority of the teams in the Brazilian league, those joined up with the Liga MX teams, the MLS teams, would be a banger of a tournament.
That's what I can agree.
Banger of a tournament. And also, I feel like the CONCACAF is what we are. We should be okay with the CONCACAF and not having to build this other Leagues Cup, because technically it is similar. The CONCACAF teams are still MLS teams.
Yeah.
And the CONCACAF teams are playing Costa Rican teams, Honduran teams, and that should be enough. But we have to bring this money haul turning in, and that's why we're playing.
It definitely is. It definitely is a big cash grabby, but I think ultimately the reward now and the value that is bringing in terms of having 3 possible Concacaf Champions tickets, I think it just brings it a lot more. I think it raises the standard of the competition. Obviously, at the start, like you said, it just didn't bring that much hype. It wasn't too interesting to look at, But for the most part, I see it as a movement forward going for CONCACAF football, because I just don't see us going towards the Libertadores or any South American style of football anytime soon.
Yeah, I agree with you. So you guys have it, lads. I have Toluca winning the Leagues Cup and just finishing their era, or just continuing their era more than anything. And you have America making a comeback.
Yeah, it starts with the Leagues Cup. I think there's no better opportunity than to do it in the Leagues Cup.
I put America on a high by finishing first place,
and now we're gonna get grouped.
And then I have them getting eliminated.
El Liga MX?
No, of the 3rd spot.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Like, I started with America on a high versus these mid-team MLS teams.
I get you.
But then when it comes to cook time, they're cooked. Cook time. Boys, that is it. Let us know if you guys enjoyed this video. Drop a like, sub to the channel. We have a bunch of new content coming. Transfer updates, tier list videos, predictions of Premier League, La Liga. Just a whole bunch of content. So make sure you guys are sub to the channel.
European preseason is underway.
Hey, there it is. But we're just trying to knock this off. But we're fiending for European ball to be back, lads.
It's looking like a good season's going to come.
It is, 100%. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that.
Thank you guys for watching. We'll catch you guys in the next one.
Peace, boys.
Peace.